Moving around Cairo, you will find many beautiful sites to visit. Usually we talk about old sites, but this time let's move on to a different era. Well, we are going to talk more about an era, or a place that will take you to the 17th century, an architecture site. Well, talking about the Geyer Anderson Museum. In this museum, you will find many different pieces. We are talking about authentic pieces going back to the 17th century on one side, and on the other side, it will show you more about that era. It will show you more about the furniture, more about the domestic pieces inside, telling you more about that age. And of course, as I told you, each of the museums here in Egypt can tell you about a different era. Museums here are not only for ancient sites or historical sites. Also, we have museums for modern sites, museums also for religious sites like Islamic art, talking about the Coptic art, many things here in Egypt that you will find yourself eager every time to visit one of these sites. The Geyer Anderson Museum, and more about this beautiful site. First, let's take a look at the place. At one time, the house was the residence of Geyer Anderson, a British officer in the Egyptian army, and a breed of individual known as an Orientalist. That is why we also call it Geyer Anderson Museum. He actually purchased two houses, one built by Amina bint Salim al-Ghazar in 1540 AD, and the other that of a wealthy merchant, Abdul Qadir al-Haddad, who built his in 1670 AD. Geyer then joined the two houses by a veranda above both of the gardens. He also worked for the Egyptian government as a physician. The house was made into a museum in 1937 when the Egyptian government decided to transform it to be a well-preserved example of early Ottoman domestic architecture. The museum is located in the back of one of the oldest mosques in Egypt, the Ibn Tulun Mosque. He is perhaps most notable as a lover of Egyptian culture. This was why he collected many different items from various historical periods.
filled the house with his collection of Oriental furniture, glassware, crystal, carpets, silks, and embroidered Arab costumes. He also collected beautiful furniture and works of art from Turkey, Persia, Syria, and other Oriental locations. By doing this, he made his house into a historical treasure chest for anyone who loves Egypt and the Middle East. The house represents an excellent example of what life was like for wealthy merchants in Egypt during the 1700s. The Geyer Anderson is unique on its own. Maybe this is because the house, including the ceilings, the walls, the corridors, and the doors, are among the most interesting displays. Or maybe because the museum was once a house and people once lived here. The first part of the house consists of huge brown containers of water used as a sabil in the past for people who pass by to drink water on hot days. A sabil is part of the Islamic Cairo culture, though it usually refers to a fountain. Afterwards, there is a small corridor that takes one to the open-air hall in the ground floor of the house. This corridor is filled with blue plates that Anderson purchased from Persia, and they were used to decorate the walls. The open-air hall is rather amazing, as one can see most of the balconies. The next corridor has pictures of the house and the Ibn Tulun Mosque in the past, and they depicted how it changed over the years. There are also some floor plans and maps of the house and the mosque. To the right-hand side, there are some items that Geyer Anderson collected through time. One of them is a charming piece of colorful tile that was used on the grounds of the house. In this room, many of these plates are on display, such as the landing of Nuh's Ark plate. Usually these sabils are connected to a school or a mosque, but here it is connected to the Geyer Anderson house and dates to 1631. The wooden ceiling, which is gold-plated with Quran verses, is well preserved as well. The first Salamlik, a place reserved for men, is quite impressive. It consists of a large sofa with a mashrabiyya window behind it. It has the same amazing ceilings and walls, with its Persian decorations as the previous one. There are also some alabaster tables with Quran verses written on the circular edges. There are also colorful boxes that were used to keep valuables. The most remarkable pieces in this hall are the largest smoking pipes I have ever seen. Each of them is at least half a meter long. Then we moved on to the summer Salamlik room. It consists of two sofas opposite each other in a well-decorated balcony that overlooks the open-air hall that we passed through earlier. the middle, there are beautiful brass tables with Quran and Islamic decorations. There are also some small ornate wooden chairs. This balcony looks like it is a place that really shows how people used to live here years ago. Just imagine Geir Anderson sitting there long ago on a summer afternoon, chatting with his friends. It makes one feel as though one has entered another period of time. Next, there is a corridor that goes through the Haram Lake. Here, there are many paintings that Geir Anderson collected from all over the world on the red walls. Most of these were imported from India and Persia. To the right of these, there are two wooden chairs and a wooden sofa. All are designed to be folded and put beside the wall when they are not in use. The Haramlik was an area reserved for women, and the word Haramlik is derived from the word harim, which can be translated as women in Arabic. This Haramlik is a big hall full of furniture and mashrafiyya windows. The room also has many multicolored sofas, chairs, and tables. This hall has the biggest collection of boxes. This is because women had a lot of jewelry, and these boxes are perfect for such items.